going to say that FNDK was something they used to do a while back, or saw a lot, actually, like the DK mid. They do love picking up pseudo carries or somewhat cores in the mid lane for FN, as he used to come for the carry position. He plays a bit greedier cores. And I think FN excels particularly when they give him the DK DP or even the Lesh because of the fact that he can farm, stay in that lane, and still push the tower. So it is something they used to do a while back. Now they also flex into the off lane, but the idea exists for them. And I think it's... I mean, I wouldn't say super unique, but it is something that stands out for them.
Talk to me about this Lion DK. I know that came up a lot in the major as a duo. As a resident Dota idiot, I don't quite understand what makes Lion DK good together. Why is this a common pickup as a duo?
It's a good 1-2 punch in my opinion. It's like Lion blinks, or sorry, make that DK blinks in first. He's really tanky, lands that pretty instant stun. Lion to follow through or to counter initiate on whoever's going back. Very strong lane, especially because with a double stun, you can usually deny pretty much every single wave, or really make it difficult for any regular carry to get some CS in. And of course, the Lion bringing you a Hex and that nuke damage makes him a very powerful pick as well.
The synergy they have as in playstyle is just so awesome for denying the enemy the map, because DK pushes in addition to being able to get pickups, as we mentioned. Lion relies on getting pickups into the mid game. Like, there's no point in picking up this hero if you're not going to go with a gank squad. So DK allows that every time because it's so easy to play him. The push that it brings denies even further the map. So it's like Lion DK pick up a kill, you get a tower. Lion and DK pick up another kill, you get another tower, and then this successively goes and chokes the enemy team out. It's really, really good. I like it with Hoodwink as well. I think if you start with Lion DK Hoodwink, your draft is set. But Phoenix gives you the team fight, so I'm okay with this too.
This draft is moving.
Speaking of that push,
DP.
As the draft pushes forward, we also have DP to add to this pushing power.
FNDP.
It's going to be real mean, yeah. FNDP.
I want to talk about the Undying briefly as this draft moves faster than we can analyze it. This is quite an unusual pick, I would say. It only got picked up 3 times in the Anna Major. I don't see it being picked up much in CIS. Is this something you've seen before from PuckChamp, or is this brand new?
I don't recall it as something that stands out. I mean, I've seen it picked up once, maybe. I don't think PuckChamp is particularly known for this pick. The thing about the Undying, though, is I think he's one of the potential solutions that people have had to this really tanky offlane meta. It hasn't worked as well as some of the other ones, but he fulfills a very similar role as the Enchantress. In theory, this pick works. Lane Dominator, brings you some strong team fight in the mid game, good initiation, good against tanky cores. But in practice, he's had a poor win rate.
Would you expect him as a support, just to clarify?
Yeah, I think so. I think
it's
a 5. Yeah, I think it's 5.
It's a 5. They've ran Undying before in previous metas, back when you could do safe lane Wisp, and then usually enemies would ban out the DP and the ABBA, and then the Undying was the only thing kind of left for them. So they've run it. As Avo was saying, I think I was watching Enigma game in ESL 1, and I think I saw a Kuro go straight Ags on a position 5 Undying, and then just get like 80 stacks of decay, just casually, and he was really, really tough to take down. I don't really like that build versus a DP because sure, you might be unkillable, but you also make DP unkillable, so that presents some issues. But we don't hit Egg very well over on the side of, well, we hit Egg decently actually with the Lifestealer Windrunner, but we don't really hit Tombstone very nicely for Unique. So it makes their team fights a little bit more difficult. It's a lot of AoE control, and it's great for fighting around Roshan with. So I think that's the value of the pick here for them.
And this win range is almost certainly going mid, at least from what Team Unique seem to think about it. So we're looking for an offlane pickup here from PuckChamp with the Bat, the Mars, and the Stanking thing on. They're going to go for Pango, which is not an unusual pick for them.
His favorite here.
Nope, Melis. Master tier Pangolier.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been playing it a lot recently, and even in officials, but I think he just loves the hero. I think he's played like 18 matches of Pangolier in the past 2 weeks. He loves it. He loves it. One of the few heroes, or one of the few players that doesn't hide his pub stats anyway.
It's so good. I think Pango is always solid because you can. It's a hero that I thought we're going to see more in the major against the tanky cores, like to initiate by just walking in, because Pango with Rolling Thunder denies that idea, right? If you're a Timbersaw, for example, you Timbers chain in, and then Pango does Rolling Thunders and pinballs you, you're done for the fight. And he doesn't need to deal damage to you, he doesn't need to kill you, he's just dealing with you, in addition to dealing with whatever is near you for that fight, right? So either you die, or your teammates who come after you also die. So I think this hero actually has a lot of value, a bit underused in my opinion, the meta, and definitely, as we mentioned, a Melis hero.
Excellent. We've got one last hero to be picked up here, probably the position 1 for Team Unique. Any last-minute snap predictions so you can look super clever?
Oh boy. Off the top of my head, ooh, I think we need something for Tombstone, or we need something with magic immunity. Luna, okay, so that's something for Tombstone at least. Luna shreds through Tombstone very easily. It makes the lane difficult for Pangolier as well because she's got a stun along with her harass, which doesn't make it very easy. That's not something I would have picked. I'm just trying to still sound smart here.
Well, as long as you can explain it. I quite like this Team Unique draft. Do you guys agree, or are you favoring PuckChamp here?
No, I think they're kind of even. I mean, just because I know PuckChamp. If it was any other team, I'd be like, nah, Unique has a more consistent draft. But the weirder the draft, the more I want to favor PuckChamp. And this is definitely their kind of comfort draft. Unique has a solid draft for the most part. I don't know. I kind of want to go slightly for Unique, though.
Okay, I'm gonna go slightly for PuckChamp then. Not because of what you just said, but because the way I see these team fights breaking down, it's Supernova pops out, Krelad is going to spam Q, run straight for this egg. People are going to try and stun him, but that's where Melis comes in. I think Melis is going to be the game changer in these team fights. Rolling Thunder, you love fighting around an objective. You can fight around Tombstone, a Curse, a Lifestealer who's in range. I really like the idea of these PuckChamp team fights, even against all of the lockdown that's Unique or carrying. I think that's going to power them through to a win.
So either way, a quite close game. We are going to be going straight away to this draft. I'll hand over to you, and I'll head off myself.
I'd agree.
Thank you very much. Dan, what do you agree with? You agree with me?
I agree with your points. I think you made some really valid points there. I do think that the PuckChamp draft is just a bunch of heroes that I haven't seen for a while, but in theory, I really, really enjoy it because things like, for example, remember what I talked about, picking up an offlaner that might not be as tanky and then bringing a Lifestealer with him? That's Pango. That's like the perfect hero for it. Wind Ranger, another great hero for the Lifestealer. Like, your draft has a lot of inner synergy with an insane amount of healing that I do love. And I don't think you're particularly lacking in Lockdown. You're just not as good as Unique.
Okay, let me go in and try and challenge you on that then a little bit here, Avo. We still have a Phoenix into Wyvern. All this healing for what?
Exactly, right? That's why I was going for Unique. I feel like this Phoenix, even if Lifestealer is good against him, you can deal with Lifestealer to a degree because you have Hex, right? Before he can rage. So if you set up properly, there's a good way to deal with him. I feel like once Luna gets BKB, Pango can't really go in reliably because he just died to those glaives as well. So there's that kind of concern, especially with the new Dragonlance build, some Luna's build. And I just feel like your team fight is just so much easier to execute. Pop Exo, going with Dragon, Luna goes with the glaives, kill all of Unique, kill all of PuckChamp. There's not much of a execution barrier for them, in my opinion.
That's a good point, right? Because I was just talking about, oh, it's just easy. You just kind of roll in on Pango and you disrupt the team fight. And sometimes Melis, it does look that easy, but there's ways of playing around it, right? You can take fight in unfavorable terrain for a Pangolier. Despite Roche Pit being, what you would ideally want to fight in, a lot of the terrain you can't bounce off of, right? It's really just this kind of lava waterfall behind Roshan that you're able to bounce off from the Roche Pit. So yeah, there very well could be some pretty big issues here. Because at the end of the day, it is kind of just that easy. Everyone presses R on Unique, and we're ready to party.
Well, we'll see. I am excited for this match. I think that no matter what, is going to be an interesting one. Both teams picking out enough team fight that I feel like is going to be that what we're going to see. So let's check out what happens. The mid lane, by the way, the matchup I haven't seen very often, which is the Wind Ranger plus DK, but I'm excited to see how this works out. I will usually give this, I guess, slightly towards the DK, just because the Wind can't really do much against you, and you just pick up infused raindrops, and that's fine.
Yeah, that would be my inkling as well. Can't buy infused raindrops for the first couple of waves is the only issue, and of course on top of the bottle, it is a lot you're spending on ultimately consumables, but it is going to kind of deny the Windrunner from too easy of a laning stage, and it'll force her into the jungle. Right. Who knows? I mean, maybe an early Javelin here, Desperate does have a little bit of kill threat versus FN, but so far early waves are favoring towards the DK, so I expect it to continue to trend in this direction.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I mean, once the Javelin comes up, you can actually hurt the DK a fair amount. I don't think you're going to push her out of lane necessarily. Wynn might decide to leave to maximize her farm because DK is denying you, but when are you going to kill the Wind Ranger? Unless a support comes to gank you, which you do have an option of, right, with a Lion.
Yeah, it would have to be the Lion, and that would leave your top lane a bit isolated. As down bottom, they are skirmishing. They want this kill onto Astral, and we'll find it with that last Lucent Beam. First blood for Palantimos, and a little bit of extra damage on Melis to boot. Is already, you know, this safe lane Luna. I think she's picked a lot for the lane, and then immediately for the late game. She's usually not that fun to have in between, but she's a lot of fun to play here versus the current offlane meta.
I'd say her mid game is strong because, you know, the Luna late game that we usually consider is like 25 to 30 minutes, right? In true late game, she's also powerful,
true.
but it's really only the transition period between like the 10 to like 20-minute mark where you're free farming Luna, right? And that's all you have to do. You vacuum farm the jungle. I like the pickup though with the Phoenix. I think it adds some very necessary physical damage so you can deal with a Pango. I think the lanes actually for Unique in general are pretty solid. The flexing of the DP to avoid the strength of the Undying, and we mentioned how strong the DP is against the Undying. You dealt with the Pango pretty decently. Your mid lane should not be too difficult for you. Even if you don't destroy the Wind Ranger, you'll at least get farm on the DK. You're not going to destroy the early game, nor do you mean to. You're just going to get consistent lanes. So you can go into a very easy mid game.
Yeah, very true. In this mid game is going to be pretty crucial for Unique as well, because I think you take a look at a lot of our cores for Unique, and we're scary, but we're scary only, I would say, with the ultimates, right? And a couple of items, Blink Daggers, Yule Scepters, etc., etc. It's really going to be up to our supports from Unique to make sure that they can come in and actually bring the damage that their cores need to secure these kills. Because the cores are not shy on lockdown whatsoever, but a little bit shyer on the damage, especially, you know, a DK and a DP without Exo active.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops.
Because Eclipse...
Melis, again, taking a bit of damage. Melis, again, by the way, this is something I've always admired about Melis, is he'll get the heal. Is he always takes Shield Crash. This guy loves Shield Crash on his Pangoliers, and the Lucky Shots. No points in Swashbuckle.
It's actually good this lane because if a Luna is good, you can actually Lucent Beam in the middle of Swashbuckle animation and cancel that. Whereas Shield Crash gives you a bit of resistance against this Lucent Beam, plus the Magic Stick, you can survive that lane a bit better. I'm surprised by no Swashbuckle at all, mind you. I think there's still going to be the 2 points next in Swashbuckle, but I do understand why you would opt for Shield Crash instead. This way you can trade a bit better. And it's very good against damage over time as well, because you can, once you get hit by the spirits, you go Shield Crash both heroes, you can set up for that, and then immediately the damage is mitigated by a fair amount. That level 1 damage mitigation got buffed by a lot. I think it's 12% now.
It is, yeah, absolutely. That's something he really likes. Into the river here, as the Slayer will dive after Astral Fire versus Ice. We'll see who wins out this time, as the Cold Embrace is very, very nice for Astral, looking to try and TP away, but will be cut down by the auto attacks of the Phoenix, who is now in a bit of trouble. There's that first point in Swashbuckle we were looking for. It did actually connect a lucky shot, and maybe this is going to be a kill for Melis. He is having to really work for it, as there's a healing salve out from the Slayer, giving vision with the Courier. Slayer trying to TP out. There's the lucky shot, but it's not going to be enough minus armor. Time wasted, and space created for our Luna.
Yep. Even with the Orbital Corrosion, it's tough to get those kills. You have no stun. Good TP as well, as you mentioned. Really good time wasted for a lane that was already favoring Palantimos. But, in that said, Ghostic didn't really manage to do anything against Lifestealer. He just didn't die in this lane. Considering how good Lifestealer, how good a laner Lifestealer is, that's already a success with Lifestealer undying. But Krillat is going to be able to have a really solid mid game. And that's, I think, the best way to deal with the Luna when she's farming like hell, trying to recover. The longer that takes, the better for you, and the more tempo this Lifestealer can play.
Absolutely, and because top lane is going so nicely, this does free up Bignum to rotate on towards the mid lane. We can see him already planting the ward down. We're timing this beautifully. This is exactly what I was going to say, with the wagon, with, of course, the first Elder Dragon form of the game, and even some pressure now being applied to Desperate. There's the Icarus dive on over. They've rotated the Slayer over, and even the Tombstone is not going to be enough to stop him. Ducalis, though, chasing after the kill, wants this FN, wants the DK. He's got another decay in a couple more seconds with the creep wave, and that tier 1 tower are going to keep him away. In fact, he may just lose his life. Here's Astral now trying to counter-initiate. Cold Embrace is going to be plenty of healing now for the Undying, as, well, you know, he's going to be able to make it out alive, and in fact, more so than that, Avo, he completely stops the push.
Oh, the region got lost though. Nice hit there by Lion. And yeah, that's true. You stop the push, but you still lost your mid laner, so we'll win for Unique regardless. You ended up rotating a similar amount of resources. And Luna's now beating the Lifestealer net worth. Now that she's been left alone, she's been able to recover immediately and start dominating a Pango that usually expects a better early game performance, especially if you go for the Orbital Corrosion.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's something we see Melis do quite a bit. Same as Rezo, right, when they both play the Pangoliers. He will swashbuckle into the river. Okay, giving chase, though, is seen with the Slayer. Palantimos closing the gap very quickly with the Lucent Beam, as it's actually going to be Ducalis, Power to Meet, dying over in the top lane. But Melis is going to stay alive in the river.
Okay. So Melis just trying to annoy the Luna best he can without like giving up the lane completely. There is a point where you might have to gank, but I think that's when you get level 6 and you can actually do something along the map. Right now, Palantimos is just going to free farm, and you have to accept that. I think the first rotation should actually be against the DK, unless they can get a free kill on Palantimos here. Palantimos positioned a bit aggressively. They commit the Tombstone here, TP immediately. How do you cancel this? You don't. Palantimos gets away for free. Oh, but Slayer? Slayer, Icarus dive, he has a TP himself.
Got TP.
No, he doesn't want to use it, though. They don't see him yet.
Anyway.
Slayer.
You can always Sunray and TP off the map. I don't think this should be a kill. He's going to be looking to at least buy a bit more time, pardon me, and try and aggro this wave by the looks of things. But I don't know. I think, you know, the fact that you're able to get the Luna out, you haven't given a single kill to the PuckChamp lineup. I don't think you want to start now here. So he's just absorbing experience, then, is the name of the game.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. You can even maybe delay this tower push as much as you can, while your DK is doing something more useful, because you want him to also push the mid lane tower, as FN is trying to do desperately. Like I said, if FN can prevent it, he won't rotate. He likes to stay mid, farm creeps, take the tower. That's why DK, I think, is a well-suited hero for him.
Yeah, he might not like that too much anymore now that Desperate has picked up not only a DD room, but also the Javelin. So we do have a little bit of kill threat. I see with the Slayer down the bottom. Still has Icarus dive. And we'll use it now to try and escape. There's going to be now the Sunray off the cliff of the map, and that's exactly why I said he shouldn't worry too much, because he's good to go. See you later. Not much you can do to stop him once he starts that.
It's just so crazy when I see it. I'm going back to my people Sunray. It's so odd.
Yep. My people need me.
Yeah.
See you later. Beam me up.
And yeah, he retreats. Phoenix gets away, but at the same time, the tower is going to fall because the tower can't retreat. So, still kind of a win for PuckChamp in that sense, right? You haven't been able to do the same thing up top. Kulak's been taking care of this tower. Desperate's now looking for kills. Unique does have better net worth overall, but the map control slightly going to go PuckChamp favor for now.
Yeah, and that's a bit surprising to me, Avo. I would say with the start, especially that the DK had, I thought this tower would be down by now, especially with the rotation. I think this is a lot to do with Ducalis' play, not only just not dying, but forcing the DK back pretty much as soon as he used Elder Dragon form. It was mostly a wasted Elder Dragon form, other than getting the kill onto Windrunner, which is not much of a waste. But when it comes to, like, you know, map pressure, it was mostly negated in that sense. So that was at least nice from PuckChamp. They're able to still hold on to this mid-tier 1 tower.
Okay. And with this, you managed to balance it out ever so slightly. Krillat using his domination. There's an Earth Spike, though. There is no Finger of Death. Might not be needed, as they even rotate FN with a Breathe Fire. That's all the burst they need to finish off this Lifestealer. And killing off Krillat's Major, as now with Exorcism and Dragon Form, you should be able to take this tower for free.
Yeah, check out our offlane DP build. I think this is pretty standard now, but I'm pretty sure, didn't Brax start this?
Yeah, the Witchblade.
The offlane DP going for Falcon Blades.
Oh yeah, sorry, the Falcon Blade, yes. I think it was Brax. That's the first time I saw it. I was like, oh, this is really clever. Might have not been him, might have picked it off of pubs. It's kind of difficult to pinpoint exactly, but yeah, I like the Falcon Blade on DP. It's the same as when Vipers offlane go for the Falcon Blade. It's really just the Mana region that's super valuable. And the rest of the stats are useful, but it's really just the Mana region that you kind of need on this hero.
Okay, well, PuckChamp are looking to reinforce the mid lane. We haven't had a Rolling Thunder yet, but we just may. See with the Slayer, though, already up to level 6, is going to be a bit of a hard target here without the best follow-up stuns in the world. And in fact, that is a bit of an issue here for this lineup, isn't it? Our follow-up stuns are going to be basically all skill shots here, being the Shackle shots and the Rolling Thunder. The only reliable one, stun, quote-unquote, you have is going to be, of course, the Winter's Curse.
Okay, Slayer fighting Astro 1v1 here in the bottom lane. Yeah, what does this people call it? Moltres versus Articuno?
Yeah, I believe so.
But in comes the Pokemon
and here's Rayquaza coming in.
What? No, that's a Luna. Palantimos. That's gonna be Shinx. Oh, they're gonna use Slayer.
Oh, and they got Ghostig mid as well. That should be a tier 1 tower. Nice job divide and conquer here out from PuckChamp, as Ruby, Diamond, and Emerald here all coming together for them. It's a Luna. It's going to be a mid tower down, though, by the looks of things here, as they were able to catch the Phoenix down bottom. He's going to have TP in a couple more seconds, but we pushed a little bit too fast. FN, though, with the Blink Dagger, is looking at least for a return kill onto Ducalis. Melis used the Swashbuckle here already for the disarm onto Palantimo, so that's going to give enough space for Desperate to run away. Nice push, only losing the Undying for that one is a very well worth trade here for PuckChamp. But it now means that Unique can push the tower.
This kill would be very valuable. You can get Desperate. They didn't get the body block off, so Desperate should be able to get away. Shackle shot doesn't hit, doesn't matter, unless Slayer considered there for a second. He did have egg, but I'm glad he didn't use it that aggressively. They have tools to deal with an aggressive egg. The eggs mostly have to be defensive or at least middle ground.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious on how he's going to be looking to use eggs this game. Because I also see a very powerful use case for Supernova to kind of use it as an objective to fight around, right? Sure, the egg might end up getting scrambled at the end of the day. That sucks. But you're position 5 Phoenix, and you've got no real lack of team fight to follow up after a scrambled egg if you do end up compromising the enemy's position. Like, you know, that's a very risky play, but given it is a position 5, I think that's a risk you can somewhat afford to take. But we'll see here. I think that depends on how the teamfight initiation starts breaking down for Unique and how PuckChamp look to itemize, as they will chase away Bignum from the top lane. He was just looking to get a bit more farm because I believe he already has, indeed, a Blink Dagger at 13 minutes on a position 4 Lion. Very impressive farm.
Yeah, good stuff. Slayer. No, nothing else is going to happen there, but he did take a tower almost for free there. The mid tower going very well for the way of Unique here, and you've opened up the map which is what you were expecting with a DK DP, except not necessarily with them, as PuckChamp now might have to be in a pickle once Luna gets online. Krilat, I don't know if you're going to be able to fight as reliably. Pantimos, I'm assuming will wait for the BKB this game until you really start fighting properly. And if PuckChamp can't get any kills the Rolling Thunder, I feel like once Luna gets the BKB, it's just not going to be that effective.
I haven't seen a Rolling Thunder yet, and Melis is going for this Diffusal.
Yep. Diffusal Blade is a good idea if you want to get a secondary core into the mix, right? He always likes going for this kind of hybrid thing, where you play utility and you also play semi-core. Very useful against DK particularly, because he always has mana problems in general. He's not going to go for a Soul Ring just to deal with this.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea. Let's see how it plays out in practice. As we've proposed and accepted the jungle swap trade offers. My jungle for your jungle, accepted, but Unique now heading back under the cover of a smoke. There's a good ward here, as well as the mid lane pushing, so PuckChamp are going to have some good intel that something's coming, so they'll smoke right into it. But the jump, it's going to be FN first onto Ducalis. They have got the Cold Embrace from the magic damage is there, holding onto the finger, holding onto it. Should have used it, because out comes now the Winter's Curse to turn the teamfight, allows the Tombstone to drop. Goes to get a rough spot here. A Supernova stun will stun up 3 heroes, Krelat included, but Melis keeping the rest of Unique at bay, looking to now rejoin the fight as Seamless Slayer is laying down the damage here onto Desperate with the Sunray, picking up the kill with the Lion Figner is going to be Bignum. Slayer, though, out of position, will finally perish. Another stun here onto Astral, who's now trapped on the high ground, but free to go thanks to the Arctic Burn. Bignum will be chased down by Melis, and that'll end up fight here with a 3-for-2 trade in favor here of PuckChamp, who read the map very nicely and are able to get a good counter initiation onto the likes of Unique.
Well played when it comes to timings on PuckChamp. They managed to get down 3 heroes from Unique because it was the right time to fight. Even if they don't destroy the egg in time, didn't really matter because they were stronger overall. Maybe the finger would have mattered a lot, being able to kill Ducalis early, but he already dropped the Tombstone, so I think it was appropriate not to waste that, honestly. And the Unique character just wasn't ready to fight. I don't think it was particularly too bad a fight. PuckChamp took advantage of their mobility to make it a bit crazier, make it so that the teamfight Unique had was less impactful, particularly the Eclipse, who couldn't come out, because Luna never really had a moment to be like, all right, let's Eclipse here. This is the moment we get to fight them. You couldn't force out the rage, you couldn't play as consistently, and that was really well played by PuckChamp. Now continue to put in the aggression, hoping to get the Phoenix. There's the Focus Fire used, and Slayer will not last a second.
No, we will not. They don't have very much catch, but they were able to string enough of it together to find the Phoenix. Down he goes. bot lane as well is pushing now for PuckChamp. So off the back of that fight, they're able to, fortify their grip here on the enemy jungle or bottom area, and it looks like they might just be able to get a tower first. Top lane is pushing, though. It's basically your mirror image. Fortify for Fortify is forced out, but it looks like PuckChamp are more interested in staying around and in a better position to immediately get a tower out from this. In exchange, Unique, they're going to start up Roche.
Yeah, and Roche. Valuable objective since you're Radiant as well, so it's a bit more free than for PuckChamp. You don't have to put any... I mean, you've already taken over the enemy jungle naturally, so it's just a good transition. This way you also avoid fights, which you couldn't be able to do if you took towers, and I think the Sages might give you the edge in the next fight to be able to win it. I'm assuming you give it to... I think Palantimos, honestly.
Yeah, I think going for this aggressive build, not having the Dragonlance quite yet does end up putting you a little bit more in harm's way. We want to get these eclipses off in fights. Like you said, we were missing it in the last fight, and perhaps that's what allows the fight to go a bit better for you in this next one. And having a second life to play with means that you're more likely to use it than not. So I like it. I like it here.
I like the Dragonlance build. I suggested this in the draft because it's so good against Pango. It's not like uncommon by any means, but it's because against the Pango this game is just going to be so great to deal with this Rolling Thunder. But you need the big A. Palantimos right now could lose the Aegis. As the Manta style to avoid the Splinter Blast, they're going to go for the Undying instead, and they kill him quickly with a Finger of Death. Well played. As Unique, they might be looking for more. They stole the Dragon form, I'm mistaken. Oh no, they just lost it, never mind. But they have Exo, only level 1. And you need a bit more experience on Ghost before you push this tower too far. I agree with his patience right now. I think it's fine.
Agreed. You just took Aegis basically in exchange for a tier 2 tower. It'd be nice if you could get that tier 2 in exchange. Unfortunately, the only pickoff you found was on a support. Doesn't reveal much as Melis now. He's got a friend inside of him. He's going to hold on to the swashbuckle. He knows that they can't kill Palantimos once, maybe not even twice, as they will instead look for the Phoenix, even going so far as committing the Rolling Thunder to make sure they secure the kill. And in exchange, we'll let Palantimos leave.
Okay. So, small kill on the Phoenix, valuable if you could make use of it. Unfortunately, with 30 seconds, it's just not that much time for Unique. I still think they're doing the right plays for the most part, trying to pick off the enemy. Don't force 5-on-5 engagements just yet. Wait for the big items, but it's giving Palantimos so much time to become the Luna that we all know and love, and you're not really taking advantage of our weaknesses too much. We'll see how PuckChamp can deal once the Luna gets that BKB. I think that's the big obstacle they're going to have to face this game. So for now, take towers, don't play this extra aggressively, but try to do something with your time rather than just stay idly farming.
Yep, I like it. That's why we use the ultimates, just because I think both teams recognize this game is settling into a little bit of a holding pattern for now. Everyone's just going to look to increase their net worth. Ghostic very eager, you can see, just to soak as much experience, I should say, as he can to get this level 2 Exo up, because that's a huge point of inflection for the hero. Quite literally doubling the damage on your ultimate is just too good of a trade to pass up.
Yep, that might be the point that they're waiting for, actually, on Ghostic, because Unique, they're just not pressured for time at all. It's not like late game is automatic for them, but they also know that they stay strong during the whole game. Undying is going to fall off relatively soon, though, and that Tombstone, I think, has only been okay utilized. Which is surprising to me, because PuckChamp is really a balls-to-the-wall kind of team. Oh, there's the Undying dying.
See you later.
What an oxymoron.
There goes.
And
no initiation, though?
Difficult. If you use
Luna's showing bottom. Luna is showing bottom completely alone, though. Melis, he's going to go in. They want to try for FN, but that's a tanky target. Silence is going to find the Pangolier as Luna now rejoining the fight. FN still on half HP. Exo is used now at level 2. There's going to be the Eclipse trying to find Krila, but he's going to be able to just walk this one off as the wagon absorbs a lot of the shots. Now Rolling Thunder from Melis, just looking to make this fight a bit awkward. Yule Scepter, self-used there, and the Ghost Scepter even to keep Ghostic alive as they're now going to focus onto Palantimos. Dugalis has Respawn, but Palantimos is going to farm up this Tombstone real quick. In the meantime, they've at least dispatched a Big Num. Looks like Ghostic is in trouble as well with the BKB. Desperate, able to secure the kill. That's going to be 2 dead on the side of Unique. It looks like they will be able to repel Unique away from that tier 2 tower.
And a free kill on Slayer towards the end as Palantimos' FN retreat in time. Oh, I mean, not Palantimos. Got caught by the curse to cancel the TP, and there's no way he's getting out of this one alive. Too many ways to finish him off. That's going to be his first life, and soon his second. Look at that. They've been spamming the no techies sprays. No techies, no Luna. Palantimos trying to do his best, at least kill Desperate before he dies. Unfortunately, impossible. That was a team fight that Unique could have taken. They had high ground advantage, they had the Luna, they mispositioned themselves trying to look too far for kills, and they also lost the chance of using Supernova. I was very surprised at how they played that.
Yeah, so was I. I thought PuckChamp were going to be like a little cheeky and look for a kill onto a Phoenix as they've done all game. Maybe perhaps even look for the Lion, you know, be a little bit audacious. But they were even more audacious than I thought, going straight for FN. And Unique just felt like they didn't know how to respond. As there's another free kill here for Desperate. Focus fire and just a quick little snatch there for him. Is going to boost his net worth now a bit more. We're starting to have some net worth distribution problems, aren't we? As the net worth does swing now just barely in favor of PuckChamp. But for the most part, a lot of this farm is just kind of distributed and localized on Palantimos.
Yeah, I mean, Luna is the perfect hero to play a 4-1, particularly this game. You just needed to wait more for her points of inflection more than playing on the DP or everything. But I really do think that team fight could have gone Unique's way. The execution was a bit better. And PuckChamp, the more chaotic they play these team fights, the better it is for them, and the more time you're taking away from Unique's draft. Like I said, it's not an auto win if this Unique goes to late game. So PuckChamp just needs to consistently be able to force this chaos upon the enemy, and they have the right tools to do so. Good counter initiation, actually a fair amount of healing. Really good heroes with mobility where it comes to Pango, Wind Ranger, Lifestealer. Unique, you can't let yourself play PuckChamp's game. You need to force your game no matter what.
So tell me what changes then with this BKB, because I think this is something you brought up before in passing, but we're very quickly approaching this point now for Palantimos.
Pango won't be able to Rolling Thunder as reliably. If you Rolling Thunder there and you have a good protection of the Supernova, like in that team fight, if you activate BKB in Palantimos and use Supernova, since the turn rate for Pango means that once you're committed to go in, you're committed to go in, Luna just kills you in the Rolling Thunder. It's one of the difficulties that Pango has against, honestly, any ranged carry. They deal too much damage, and unless you can bring the stun to them, it's just so difficult for you to survive. Lifestealer can save you, though, but since they've been using this Infest to initiate, they lose that possibility in the middle of the fight.
BKB's on the way. All right, it's delivered. We'll see. It's now shown, so PuckChamp need a perfect initiation if they're to fight here. As Unique will smoke up here underneath their own ward, looking to now wrap around.
Okay. In comes Melis. Nice silence, but he has Lifestealer inside of him. They're going to just lose him. Krilla comes out, but he didn't want to activate the Rage. There's the Winter's Curse to reset the fight. But is that going to be enough? Okay, the Supernova prevents PuckChamp from doing anything. It wasn't really a reset, more like a retreat. As PuckChamp only lost a single hero. Could have been worse for them, but they were the ones initiating.
Oh, hold that thought. I think you spoke a bit too soon. Caster's Curse, because the Undying. He's been scouted. Down he will fall here eventually, just wasting a bit of time. Will allow at least them to respawn a bit, and actually FN is being chased away in the meantime with 3 heroes showing down bottom, looking for a kill onto the support. He is not going to be able to push anything for free. So once again, Ducalis making the most space with his death, just making sure that they at least don't lose any important objectives on the back of this fight. And speaking of objectives, Roche up in 30 more seconds, so that's not of either team's immediate concern. He might be back up, I should say, in 30 more seconds. So still a little bit of a maybe on that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. That fight, the counter initiation, good curse. And again, that's the power of the curse, just holding down the Luna through that big point of inflection. Is in fact, she's not going to be able to escape. She has BKB in 8 more seconds, but I don't think she's going to be able to get it off Avo. She will fall. That's another death for Palantimos.
Yep. The dangers of going up against Melis. A really easy pick-off, honestly, for PuckChamp, who I also think are more adept at taking advantage of these, I don't know if to call it a misplay, but mispositioning to a degree of Unique. Taking a really, really valuable kill on Luna. Again, making this go further in your direct, like the longer it stays where the net worth is even and Luna hasn't been able to skyrocket of the Lifestealer, the more egregious it becomes that one team is playing 4-1 and one team is playing dual core, maybe even tri-core, depending on how Pango itemizes. Because Unique has to deal with 3 heroes, 2 at least, with their itemization, whereas PuckChamp at one point will only have to deal with Luna.
Definitely, and I apologize, chuckling to myself, because as you say Tricore, I quickly check in on what Melis is building, and of course he's going to right into that Basher after the Blink Diffusal, so you'll love to see it. Basically 1 guaranteed Bash with 4 procs out from the Swashbuckle, so hey, it's not a bad item here.
Not guaranteed, but 1 hopefully Bash, right?
1 hopefully Bash,
because
right?
it is,
according to the chances.
It is RNG. It's the only item in the game, only actual effect that's only RNG, not pseudo, sorry, no, yeah. on pseudo RNG.
Okay, fair enough. I should not use the word guaranteed, but you use that and you expect a bash, is I think safe to say.
That's okay. It's like exponential for casters. We get to pass on it.
Right? Sure.
Krillak, oh, Dragon Tail, okay. Good stun. Silence on top of that. They want to stop the rage. It doesn't really matter. Rolling Thunderbolt interrupt this initiation here. In fact, Unique has to retreat. Slayer might end up being the victim. Krillak cannot be killed that easily. They shackle shot it as well, the poor DP. And Ghostic's going to fall. PuckChamp just said, what initiation, lol, and took down 2 heroes in Unique.
It was the Tombstone, and now Roche is up, and they can't fight it. I mean, we can buy back, but there's no Exo. We have Supernova at the very least. We can't get there that fast. There's still a ward on the high ground. Oh, this is bad for Unique now. Second Roshan as well here for this one. As a reminder, Unique did sneak one earlier in exchange for their own tier 2 tower. So we've got a shard, perhaps open wounds this time around, perhaps the roll-up, what we've yet to see. But this is going to be a free Roche then for PuckChamp. And we could see, I believe those were pings either coming from Palantimos or from FN. But that Tombstone gets put onto the ward spot, someone pings it immediately, and FN's out of that fight. They just know they have to pull out. At least they get a kill into Astral, though. It's small and the tier 2 tower, so at least some compensation. But what's the price that they will be forced to pay, as FN is going to be pinned to one of the trees. Krillak asking for a high 5, as there's going to be another kill here onto the DK.
Okay.
Who do we end up giving the shard to, though? Looks like it's... I think they gave it to Melis, by the looks of things.
Makes sense. That's the... I mean, just one of the strongest shards in the game, honestly. Never really goes bad on a Pango. Melis, talking about him, he's... Might be looking... I mean, the Fusel Blade gives you the option of actually killing supports by yourself as well, so you gotta be careful with this guy. And the Tricore is working even better now, as Lifestealer has surpassed Luna. Wind Ranger close by, and Pangolier also being the DK. So as Unique, you're going, who do we give our farm to now? Do we keep giving it all to Luna? Do we allow PuckChamp to itemize a bit more effectively that way? We'll see.
They've basically hard committed into this this path, I would say, Avo, because if you take a look at what we've queued up on the DK, normally we like to say DK becoming a secondary core. When he does get this Aghanim Scepter up, it's instead going to be the Orchid. So this is not very much a core item, as they have yet again caught Seema the Slayer, and he will be finished off. Desperate now on a godlike streak. Oh, there's the very cursed PuckChamp spray. Yes, you love to see it.
That is a really, really creepy spray. But it actually comes from a Russian meme, apparently.
Yep.
And
indeed it does.
It honestly haunts my dreams sometimes. It is really, really weird. FN.
Oh, Melis.
Oh, Melis.
Want to go into the trees?
Always go into the trees. Stay in the trees, Melis.
There was a force field protecting him around. Melis couldn't get in there, unfortunately. Would have been another really costly death. That's almost Orchid completed. What ideas do you have for this Orchid on the DK?
I think the extra catch for Lifestealer is important. I mean, not really catch in this case, I guess. Just preventing the rage. So I don't disagree with it. I don't think DK is a bad Orchid builder. But I also feel like you're at the point where it seems like you've given up on him being anything more than a bit of a helpful utility core when you build the Orchid, because it doesn't synergize as well with his combo. I think it settles for DK being able to be a solo initiator though, because you Orchid Lifestealer and then you can Dragon Tail him really reliably. And the only issue I have is that eventually Krillak will get Satanic, and that's going to be his dispel for that.
Exactly. We've got at least a secondary silence ready to go, of course, on the DP. I think that's kind of the idea. But again, yeah, the Satanic is coming. It just, I wouldn't have, I mean, the thing is, I hesitate to say I wouldn't have minded this item before the BKB, because I think I also would have had perhaps something to say about that. But it feels like if we can get this item early, it's great, but maybe we use this Orchid once before Krillak has Satanic, and then it feels just a bit wasted. In fact, maybe not even, as FN having a BKB because Krillak's found in the trees. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and shoot with that Winner's Curse. Krillak still waiting for that high 5. FN is not going to oblige him. At least gets the Orchid off onto Astral, but won't be able to do any damage, as there's the spray. A little spin to win from Krillak, who will secure the kill. And yeah, PuckChamp, they're feeling themselves on this game.
Okay. Well, another potential kill here on Slayer. Let's see what Slayer will do.
Doesn't have dive. Oh no. Just stands and takes it. Look at this. Melis underneath the tier 4 towers, diving against Bignum, even hitting Ghostic on the way back out. Even committing the Tombstone without 2 of their cores nearby. PuckChamp, they know how strong. They feel strong right now. Ducalis, though, he may be a little bit too big for his britches because he's stuck now on the high ground. Stun will connect, but there's not going to be enough damage here. Not with Krillak showing. There's no way you go for a kill onto the Undying.
Okay, Krillak continues to push this tower down. Ducal is joining in as well. And Palantimos just biding his time, hoping that his farm is sufficient to deal with all of PuckChamp, who's not even caring, by the way, about the potential healing on the Infest. They've been doing those Nike bombs the whole time, and it's been kind of crushing the backlines from Unique, who hasn't been able to deal with this appropriately.
We almost have a Shivas. If we could just get that courier to the secret shop. Unfortunately, PuckChamp have sniffed that out. There's also another courier trying to go to the secret shop because we do have enough money for the Eye of Scotty, just barely. But it's just a matter of if we can purchase it or not. That seems like a big item for our Luna, but I think at the rate this game is starting to deteriorate, I don't know if that's going to be the saving item. I still feel like we need a Satanic on top of this Eye of Scotty to really try and swing this game back in control of Unique.
Scotty is a fair big turning point against both a melee carry who can get kited to a degree, against a hero that relies a lot on the healing. It might just be enough, but your team fight also has to go well for you. That Supernova needs to be appropriate. Like, the problem I see with the Supernova at this point, which we have seen for Unique a couple times, is that since you need to use it defensively to force Lifestealer to go really far to destroy it, if PuckChamp just retreats, what do? You need to have FN in the right position to be able to punish that, or Bignum perhaps, even sacrificing himself for that. We'll see.
Okay, that makes, you know what, that makes sense to me. At least now, you know, we do have this slow bouncing around that is going to be able to do a little bit of help there in that, you know, control department when it comes down to these team fights. But for now, PuckChamp with this DD rune, very eager to knock down this tier 3 tower. That'll trigger at least the glyph of fortification from Unique, who are looking now to sneak up from behind. They're smoked up. They're coming from the enemy secret shop. So we have this Shivas, we have this Eye of Scotty finished up. Do we have the right jump though for Unique to try and repel PuckChamp? Again, still with Aegis. No longer with Aegis. Pardon me, that's been reclaimed a whole minute ago. But Unique, they can't afford a misstep here.
Nope. Unique need to take the team fight as it was meant to be, right? With a slide up. Make sure they get a proper Supernova. Maybe, you know what, an option that Unique could do would be to sandwich them with particularly Ghostic, right? Going behind with FN as well. And because they have so much save for themselves and tankability, then they force them right into the egg, and then PuckChamp cannot just retreat as simply. That could be an option, especially now that they're pushing the onto the high ground, right? Oh,
PuckChamp with a high ground ward. They may just go in. Yeah, now Unique, they recognize it has been warded, so out comes the Sentry for Ignum. That was almost, ooh, that wouldn't have been a fun way to lose this game number 1.
Okay, the double blink, they want to get out. They forced the Sunray, which is honestly an important resource. FN, they didn't see that. They dewarded that before he blinked.
He also forced Elder Dragon Form. I think they did scout that, and with Roshan potentially up in another minute and Elder Dragon Form still on cooldown for a further 30 seconds, we might have to fight with a melee Elder Dragon Form. If this next Roshan respawns very quickly, Unique are not in a position where they can, you know, look to give that one up.
Yep. And fighting with melee DK though, tough.
Oh, I agree.
Tough.
I agree, Avo.
You kind of depend on that slow to a degree against Lifestealer. The Scotty's not available, you know. Even against the Pango. I mean, the Pango just crushes you if you're melee for. Palantimos, okay.
Palantimos.
Cutting lanes to the dead lane.
On Desperate.
Desperate. Shackle shot. Nice BKB.
Good BKB.
They don't have a basher on Krilat, right? So they shouldn't be able to cancel this. But Palantimos not TPing. Palantimos? He's trying to cut the lane. Oh, his TP was on cooldown.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, that. Oh. No.
He's got buyback. He's got buyback.
Yeah,
he has, of course, no BKB.
I don't know if he was the one that should have cut the lane if your TP's on cooldown.
And unfortunately, Avo, it does get worse. It's a fast-ish Roche, fast enough anyway for PuckChamp. It'll be respawning here within the next 35 seconds, rather, from this moment, of course. And, you know, as Radiant, as soon as you lose all your outer towers and the enemy's got pretty decent control over your triangle, you know, that Roshan control doesn't feel as strong as anymore. Ooh, it's a tough one here. It's a tough one. Unique now backs against the wall as Krilat going to hit him with a quick pause. A little bit of lag for them here. I'm sure we'll get going momentarily. Satanic, though, finished for Krilat with an extra 3k gold in the bank already.
I don't know. I feel like Unique is... They're not executing as well as they could in a lot of the situations. I find that they have other options they're not entirely using, and PuckChamp is just getting a huge edge because PuckChamp is not really making these mistakes. Like PuckChamp is also taking a lot of risks, and Unique is unable to punish any of those. The game is not going to go any better if this. I would even say passivity is. Oh, we all mute. Oh, wow.
We all got muted, Sage.
Oh my
You know,
God.
PuckChamp, not the only ones to get muted here. Very, very famously, Rasmus or Misery is quoted to have said, in a grand final versus PuckChamp, I got all you kids muted. Unpause whenever you can.
Oh yeah.
And,
Apparently, PuckChamp is the team to be muted by everyone.
I suppose so, but Unique, that we're still waiting for them for the go-ahead, and we'll get resumed here. Yeah, I agree with you, Avo. It feels like we took that mid-fight kind of when Unique had Aegis. Luna was fighting, Luna was split pushing down bottom, and the rest of PuckChamp kind of had a fortuitous fight, right? They found a good fight. They even initiated onto FN, who bought them plenty of time, but the fight just a little bit too chaotic. Ever since then, I've never really felt like Unique have had a proper team fight that really showcases, you know, the strengths of their draft.
Yeah, I feel like that fight was a winnable fight when Luna joined them. It just wasn't taken as aggressive as it should have. Like, Unique maybe felt a bit too confident, and they overstepped their boundaries, and PuckChamp punished that. They're just so good at playing with this chaos, and it's so difficult because as a team, you don't expect... Like, it's really difficult to draw the line specifically of where you can no longer fight, because you're not used to teams having this insane amount of mobility. Particularly not in this meta. Because PuckChamp doesn't play meta, they play what they want.
Yeah, that is fairly true. I think you kind of have to grab the Wyvern. Like, there are some things that you're going to be forced to do eventually.
Yep.
But I'd agree with you. I'd agree with you on that assessment.
Nice shackle shot. I think Lion's dead. There's no Aeon disc on him, so Bignum is just going to be killed off by the Wind Ranger, who gets an MKB on top of that.
So much damage.
They forced the Elder Dragon form as well, so that's another free roll shot.
Again, the second time from FN. I mean, at least now it's fresh. They are going right in for Roshan. It doesn't seem like they have any vision, so they're just going to, for now, send the Undying to scout and let them know. He's going to be riding back with a lantern saying, oh, Roshan is here, Roshan is here. And everyone else here on the side of PuckChamp will go ahead and very quickly dispatch of him. Aghanim's Scepter here, Aghanim's Blessing, I should say, available on third. Roshan. Unique currently not in a position to try and contest this one. That ended up being a bit too far away.
Yeah, they couldn't defend that by any means. Desperate even gets a free Ags off that. That's amazing. Still really useful. I mean, not as useful as it used to be, to the point that you want to, you know, brush it on Wind Ranger as long anymore, because it doesn't break the sound barrier any longer, or the movement speed barrier any longer. But still pretty solid to have. Yeah, Wind Ranger.
And very quickly here on our B stream, we also have some lower bracket elimination series running. Namiga Gaming taking a 1-game lead over Trident Clan, and Namiga on the up and ups from Season 1, coming through the open qualifiers from Season 2, in the lower division. So far doing well versus the 8th place finisher.
Okay, Lifestealer suffering a lot actually with that Sunray. He might just die for free. No, Cold Embrace. That's going to keep him alive.
Oh,
Winter's
no.
Curse. Bye-bye to the Lion. FN is even forced to use the BKB, and Krilla wants to keep going in. There's the Blink Dagger from Melis turning around. Can they kill the Phoenix in time? They lack in the damage. Nobody else wants to commit with Melis, appropriately so. Melis who needs to retreat. So PuckChamp will use a couple of resources for 1 kill. And range racks, not too bad. Still conserve the Aegis though, so they're quite happy with this for now. Krilla asking for high fives. Oh my goodness.
I love the Mjolnir pickup, by the way. I think that's a great one for Krelat right now. Just wants more damage. He can go toe-to-toe with with Luna if he can close the gap and very easily just fight her now. Mano a mano. It's not that hard here. And in fact, Desperate just trying to kick him off now. There's at least a silence on the Logon. Melis in trouble, getting the Cold Embrace, but it's not enough. Line Figure will pop him. Does not have buyback. Krelat then isolated, stuck on the high ground, because it's actually going to be Ghostic in between the two teams with the Exo active. They will, however, hop inside of Desperate, who BKB's thinking about turning. Might have wanted to turn, but instead decides against it and will blink backwards in order to save himself and his ally inside of him. Good hold from Unique.
Yeah, good hold. I mean, their team fight is strong, right? If they could just do this, I think the high ground gives them the advantage that's so difficult for PuckChamp to break their line as easily. So they have a huge advantage there. Unique still has really solid team fight. They just need to be able to execute it appropriately. The game is long from lost. Like, it's very, very far away. It's far from lost. Thank you, Jesus. It's far from lost for Unique. I don't think PuckChamp should feel super confident. I just think Unique needs to make the plays. It's been a while. They play a bit passively, maybe hoping for a good late game.
Well, I'll tell you a couple more intriguing things here. Was that FN actually, with this Orchid, I think, completely redeeming it. In fact, it's a full Bloodthorn now, by the way.
That
so
I agree with.
Solved some issues versus the Windrunner.
Yeah.
But that caught Melis off guard, and he was just completely, dead on the spot. Did not go for the Blink Yules build, so he doesn't have a Dispel for himself.
Yep.
Is now going to go back into the Aeon Disc, as is, I guess, required by every single player once they finish, their normal couple of items. They go, I don't know what to buy now. How about an Aeon Disc? But that'll help him. That'll help him here quite a bit. It's the silence is not going to be very strong versus that Aeon.
Oh, player. That Linken's not going to help him too much. As they still got the Dragon Tail off, the Earth Spike as well, and despite the Wind Run, Desperate's going to die, giving a Godlike Streak the way of Bignum.
Huge pick-off. That's another strength here of the Bloodthorn. Another check mark here, Avo, for the Bloodthorn. Linken's Breaker right into the face here with the stun is going to be able to set up that kill here onto the mid lane Windrunner.
Okay. Now 15k lead still for PuckChamp, but small important kills for Unique, who have discovered there's a whole world outside their base, and are now starting to explore it a bit. Oh no, they're back to base. It's too scary.
Yeah, they've been forced. The mid lane is pushing hard with double wagon. 4 enemy heroes missing off the map. You've got a guy who's, doing over 200 damage here, who with a ton of attack speed. In fact, going for even more damage next. About to finish up this Nullifier, which is going to be a pretty mean item versus... Well, who's it for? Versus the DP. That's what it's for. It's to kill DP.
Smoke from Unique with Ghost Stick. Okay, bait smoke to a degree.
Yeah, we also have not Satanic. We've got a refresher finished up on our Phoenix, so we have the opportunity for double eggs.
No longer much of a bait smoke if you use the Breathe Fire like that. Hopefully PuckChamp didn't see, but it seems like they saw by the fact that they're bunching up in their base.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to risk a fight right now. I mean, they're also pretty, shy on.
Oh.
Okay, I say that as they smoke right on up. We don't have buyback on Lifesteal, though. He bought out for this Nullifier. He's got Aegis only for 20 more seconds.
I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness,
what is this?
The moves.
Yeah, and Wind Ranger's also dead. Like, I don't think it's the time for a smoke. I mean, maybe Aegis is enough to justify. Aegis, which is about to expire. Oh, Rolling Thunder just got used for nothing just yet. They're going to go find the Phoenix. Going to destroy it in time. It seems impossible. He's going to avoid it. Supernova wasted here as they're looking for the counter initiation. Melis soon to lose that Rolling Thunder. They're trying to finish up Ghost Stick. Nullifier ready to cancel that Aeon Disc. And also the Yule Scepter. Bye-bye Ghost Stick. But Eclipse was still ready with a second Supernova. Which is stopped yet again by the Winter's Curse. PuckChamp is not letting them use the eggs. Instead, they're only going to find out Astral and Ducalis. So, 2 simple kills, after which Melis goes in, trying to find the retreating members of Unique. Krillat's going to join him as the TP from the Phoenix completes. Not the same luck for FN, whose TP is going to get cancelled immediately. PuckChamp. In, out, in, out. That's the strategy they're using, nullifying the Supernova completely. No need to break what is already useless.
Yeah, that was really, really well played. I mean, they really show the weakness of what is the refresher build on this Phoenix. Granted, I don't know what else he builds because there's already a Shivas on your team, and Radiance is a bit of a tough ask for position 5 Phoenix, but really, really tough. Great job from PuckChamp. They knew they wanted that fight. They double buyback instantly on both of their supports. Now they're going to trigger the same here out from Unique. First is going to be FM, but he's the scary one, offering that 4-second stun. So it's instead not going to be tier 4s, instead just the mid lane of Barracks, and perhaps maybe even a second course here of a bot lane tier 3 tower.
Free tower for PuckChamp as they also take lane of Rax. Not much Unique can do to defend this. They're going to bide their time, praying they can defend the last lane of Rax. Classic strat, right? Less Rax to defend, easier for you. So, a good way to deal with PuckChamp. At least you're going to force him to bunch him up near a choke point. Unfortunately, because this is the top Rax, you can't really flank him here. Oh, Krillat's crazy?
Krillat, he wants more. He wants more. But there's backdoor. Oh, no, he wants to slap it a bit through backdoor as well. There's Illusionist Cape. Good pickup here for the Luna along with the Manta style. Krillat continuing to stick on the high ground. PuckChamp very, very much so keeping their distance as that. Now with the blink stun in, there's Desperate double looking to counter shape. BKBs are coming through. Winter's Curse though finds Palatinos. They're trying to burst through Krillat, but they won't have it in time as even Slayer getting pulled into that Winter's Curse. Melis now behind enemy line, still continuing to roll around, is going to be able to provide cover for the rest of his team as they will back up off of the high ground and safely escape. using Winter's Curse for not a whole lot else there, but just kind of showing, hey, we could, walk into your base if we feel like it. For now, though, we want to wait for Roche.
Mellis has been such a driving force behind PuckChamp's team fights. Like, they've been so good at creating chaos, particularly because Mellis has broken the backlines every single time for Unique. And they just couldn't reach him in time. This is probably, to a degree, a Hail Mary smoke from Unique. Trying to find someone by surprise. Grillat's like, oh, someone's around. Time to retreat. There's the value of getting the solo smoke there. The
yeah,
Ninja Gear.
Unfortunately, I mean, they're going for these aggressive plays like this. Unfortunate for them, I mean, they're still a top, lane of barracks to defend, so they can't really stray too far from the base lest they want to play against Megas. Now, granted, with a Luna, that's something you can't afford to do, but obviously they'd be looking to avoid that at all costs. So they will now TP on back, unable to find anything there with the aggressive smoke. Roshan, at the very least, up in 90 seconds, and so not really too heavily favoring either team here. But PuckChamp, once again, just going to settle back here into a couple of minutes of farming, into waiting for Roshan. What would now be Roche number 4 here, Avo. So Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard, and an Axe Blessing.
Yep. PuckChamp really comfortable with this. They control the whole map. They forced you into the single lane of racks. You need to get a really good team fight off of this, and until now they've been able to avoid that completely with their counter initiation. I mean, their playstyle has been incredibly solid, so credit where credit is due. When they gave them these chaotic lineup, that's why in the draft I said I want to go for PuckChamp just because I know them, right? It's particularly because I know how well they can play these lineups. They're so good at avoiding team fights when they have these mobile heroes.
Yeah, and something we've been both keen to point out is the fact that Mellis is successful as he is in these, as I like the word you said, these driving kind of efforts to just disrupt the entire enemy team. It just feels so impossible. So many times, I mean, let alone the Tombstone also making things difficult, right? It's just Mellis completely forcing you to reposition yourselves, forcing you to get stunned a couple of times and unable to punish what is this otherwise unchecked aggression out for PuckChamp, and that's because of Mellis.
That's why you don't let the guy have Pango. I think if you give him Pango or Timbersaw, I mean, they fulfill very similar roles in the team fight, and you just don't ban both heroes. Ban Mellis as a whole.
Not play. They're going to
Oh no!
Just on the illusion.
The illusion baited them. Oh my goodness! Now Krillat's in the middle, destroying the egg. It's a freebie. The Roshan is not really going to be attacked because they want to fight this first. They also force the Eclipse. They need to retreat in time. They see the Wind Ranger with the Infest, and now actually going back for the Luna. Winter's Curse to reset the fight. Exorcism still going on. So PuckChamp can't go too far in. Wanted to finish off Palantimos. Can they do so in time? Yes, Palantimos just hit him. There we go. The Soul Rip will kill off more Palantimos as they tear through Ghostic. PuckChamp take down the enemy carry and an offlaner, FN as well. Slayer trying to retreat with a TP. Can we get a bash? We don't need it. Shekel shot plus a hit.
GG.
And the GG is called by Unique. Once you drag it, that was, what is that play? The illusion to bait out because the smoke broke, so he thought, he didn't know which one was the real one once he went in. That is PuckChamp at its finest. I mean, I cannot believe that's how you win the last fight. You force so many resources in a team fight, you could obviously retreat because you had to put all your eggs in the basket of, I guess, the right Pango off this weird play by Mellis.
Yeah, I love it. Mellis also just standing still, not making it apparent, not issuing any orders to either himself or the illusion, making life as difficult as possible, as he was really all game, I want to say. Mellis, my MVP for game number 1. We're going to be able to go back to our panel here and discuss it a little bit more as we're going to be going to a short break. When we return, just second draft and a bit more of a discussion for our second series of the day.